Okay, welcome back to this second video. Now the last video I showed you just the AI of the ship and how the units navigate around, but this time around what I want to do is I want to show you how the actual editor in the game works. So what I'm going to do is, at the moment it's not been recoded to move units about, so I'm just going to move the captain character over to back into where it's going to be the middle of the ship for now. But within the game, everything is designed from the ground up to be completely moddable, and it's all done within game. So anyone at all can completely replace any ship within the game and very, very quickly and very easily recreate their own masterpieces, if you like, and any variety they want, and then they can use it in the game. And these will be savable and they can be uploaded and shared with other people and all kinds of things like that once it's done. So what I'm going to do is just wait for him to get in the middle of the ship here, and then I'm going to completely reset the ship and erase it all. Okay. So there he is, he's now waiting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to up into editing mode and press R to just completely erase the ship. Now that's going to bring up this file browser. That's going to ask me what ship I want to use, and I'm going to pick this small orange one here. Now this is just a Google image and it is purely a placeholder, so apologies if this is your graphics. It's not a final game. So now we've got the new graphic in, what we need to do is we need to just tell it where the ship is. So what we'll go is, once we've got that centered, well, the first thing we're going to do is draw some floors. So we're just going to pick this icon here, which is flooring tool, and then like any paint program, we're quite literally just going to paint on top of the ship where we are going to say that the floored area is going to be. So obviously in larger ships a little bit time consuming, but once it's set up it's only thing that only needs to be done the once. So just going to paint through some adjoining corridors here. Just keep painting this down, just bear with me just a couple of minutes. And as you can see, it's very simple. It's just literally a case of once you've picked, no, let go of the button there. Once you've picked your tool, you just paint on top of it and it does the rest for you. So just missed that bit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this down through here, and these are going to be corridors into the next main body of the ship here. Just paint down here. I've been a little bit close to the edge there, never mind. Sort that in a minute. So I'm just going to finish these corridors here. Now you can use any image for the background you want as long as it's got transparency. So I'm just going to pick the delete tool here and just get rid of that row there. That was a bit overlapped just a little bit. Go back to my floor and I'm just going to paint some more floor in here. Now at the moment this can be done at absolutely any point, but obviously your ship main will only be designable before you commence a game, but then within the game you'll be able to do other things such as zone rooms and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is just finish just doing this here. Okay, so now there's the general floor painted in. So once that's done, what I'm going to do is just this next icon here, which is a little bit of floor with some transparent walls. I'm just going to click that, and what that's going to do is it's going to generate all the external walls for us to save us a bit of time there and effort. So that's that done. Now I'm going to pick the actual wall tool because I want to build some internal walls and some internal rooms. So I'm just going to do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint this here, and that'll become command section. Now you can see here there's some shading variation going on here, because as you draw walls, what the editor's doing is at real time it's picking out individual rooms here. So you can see it's labelled them room 1 and 2. So now we've got room 2 here, and 3 will be at the top. So I'm just going to keep going, building some more rooms. It's a bit of an awkward layout of the ship actually. Where do I put some here, and there, and just another one just down there. Okay, so now I've got my walls there. I'm going to just pick the door tool, and doors are easy. You just click anywhere in a wall, there's a wall, and it'll automatically drop in a door. There. Okay, so now that's the walls and doors done. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm still within editing mode, you can see that the rooms have been isolated out, and they've been named just as generic rooms. So you can right click on any empty room, and then it will bring up the room designation menu, so you can just tell it what you want that to be. So I'm going to go cargo bay on that one, and what else we'll have? This will be, well, let's make this the crew quarters. There's a command deck here, and this is where the head's going to be. What else do we want to put in here? Let's see. Okay, we'll just make this bit here. We'll just make this corridor for now. And again, all these textures are completely user definable. The user can it's just one big texture sheet. So you just load it up in Photoshop, change all the textures, and then your own textures for the walls, for the floors. You can put your own animated doors. Everything's completely customizable, so you can make as much or as little effort as you want. You can take in just a stock image, throw in all the rooms. So and that's your new ship. Or you can go to town. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into the ship component. I'm going to start generating power. Now you can see up here it says that the ship needs 808 units of power at the moment, and I'm currently producing 120. So at the moment the ship's not going to go anywhere, so I'm just going to keep throwing in these small generators because that's the only thing that the ship's really got space for. I don't really have enough there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start filling up the cargo bay as well, and I'm actually going to struggle here. Yeah, okay, we're just going to have to make the cargo bay and engineering space as well and just put in them. So there we go, so that's the power sorted out. So we're now producing 880 units as opposed to the 808 that we currently need. So we're okay for power wise, but we don't have much room for anything else. So what I'm then going to do is I'm then going to put in some plants, because as you can see here at the moment we're producing 60 cubic centimetres of oxygen, which is only enough for 2 crew members. That's not enough, so I'm going to throw in some plants, and you can see here in the editor it'll only let you place stuff where they can be viable done. So if it's not a viable location, it'll go red, and items can be rotated about on any of the 4 angles to place them anywhere we want. So what have we got here? What we're going to do is I'm just going to create some crew beds here. We've got enough for 7 crew, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just there, 7, 8. There we go, 8. So we've got 8 beds. That's 8 crew members. So we need a little bit more oxygen. So there, and there we go. So that's enough for 9 crew members and oxygen. So there's a little bit of reserve as well. Okay. So next up, what we want to do is put in our captain's chair. That's where I'm going to sit. And I'll just pop that there. Yeah, put it there. And go back in this menu, and we're going to drop some helm control. Now at the moment there's no engines in the ship, and that feature's not built in yet, so they're irrelevant, but we're going to have 2 helm control right to the front, and have a scoot point. Where do we want that? One there, and one, do we want another one? Yeah, we're going to put one just in the middle of the ship actually, just so that there's man there and there's an immediate response in case we get boarded or anything happens. Okay, and then exit edit mode, and there we go, there's our ship, fully functional. So obviously that's our graphic over the top of it, and within that everything that's just been designed by myself is now fully functioning up and running. So the next thing we need to do is just add some crew. So we've got scope for 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to create more beds. Okay, so just get rid of that, and there we go, there's our 7 crew members. Now you can see here the AI is completely dynamic, and everything that I've quite literally just designed from scratch, the AI is now quite happily navigating around. So what I'm going to do is, just to show and prove that, is I'm going to create 1, 2 helmsmen and 2 security staff. And you can see that even though that I've just created the ship, the AI now heads off and mans its post just as well as it would with any preset, predetermined ship layout. And that is literally as difficult as it is within the game to build your own ship. So you can start off with just a stock image and redesign the layout, or you can have your own image and completely design the ship using the stock components. If you want to get really technical, you can redesign all the textures and everything else within the game to completely create your own unique ship in any design you see fit. And then once we've zoomed out, we would then head off on our